Hey, what's going on YouTube? We're going to get right into this by showing you how I check my water with the Hanna Alkalinity and Phosphorus checkers. Basically, I'm going to do both of them at the same time. So what I do is I kind of prep everything first and get it ready. I start out by taking my reagent for the alkalinity, and I always check the dates on my stuff. This is actually a new bottle that I just opened because I took out the one that was actually in my kit and realized that it was expired. It's a little tough to see here, but it is expired, so we're gonna basically toss that one aside. And we're gonna start out by basically taking the reagent from the phosphorus checker, and I'm gonna cut this open and kind of get it all ready, so the steps are kind of already done. Pretty much we're gonna start off by using the phosphorus checker first. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut across this line and just kind of angle it like that, and it makes it really easy to get the reagent out and kind of tap it a little bit to loosen up the powder inside. The next step is what I'm going to do is going to take the syringe or the plunger from the alkalinity, shake it up a little bit right there, take the syringe, and basically what I do is I fill it up to the 1 milliliter line, and I put the bottom of the plunger inside it to the 1 milliliter line. Now for doing tests, if you do it slightly different, just be very consistent on how you do your testing every time. Do it the same way, because that really does help with your results. Just going to rest that on the cap for a minute. Next thing, this little handy bottle comes in really good. You can get them off of BRS. And what it does is it basically just helps you eliminate some of the air bubbles. When you're doing these tests with Hanna checkers, any air bubbles inside of the cuvettes can kind of basically throw off the testing. So what I try to do is get as many bubbles from the initial filling it up all the way to starting the test. So a quick wipe down with a paper towel. Make sure there's no grime or oils from your fingers and whatnot on the cuvettes actually, and you want to just kind of rock it back and forth until you don't see any air bubbles. So we place that one in the phosphorus checker. We tap the button once. It's going to say enter C1, which we just did. Put that button in, and now it's going to say enter C2, which is basically your second step. When it says C2, all you're doing is taking the cuvette out and adding the reagent. So with any Hanna checker, when it says C2, you're going to be adding another reagent. For the phosphorus, you just kind of tap this package, which is a powder. And unfortunately, there is no liquid that they do for this. It's just a powder. So it takes a little bit to get used to, but once you do, it's all good to go. Rock that baby back and forth and kind of, make sure all that powder is nice and dissolved, and just keep, shaking it up until it's gone. Once again, clean off the cuvette so there's no fingerprints. Rock it, make sure there's no air bubbles and whatnot inside of it as best as you can, and we're going to put that back in. And basically now what you want to do is you want to not tap the button, but you want to push and hold the button. It's going to start a 3-minute counter. So this is where it comes in handy that you can do kind of both at the same time. So now we have 3 minutes that we can allow to test our alkalinity. And basically we're going to go through the same steps. We're going to fill it up to the line using the nifty little BRS thing. I don't even know where I got it. I think it came with one of their Mr. Chili foods, and it came in the package, and I ended up just using it for this. It's really good to just go up, grab a sample of water, bring it back downstairs, and I can do all my tests downstairs if need be. Put that in the alkalinity, tap the button. It's going to say enter C1, which we just did. And we still have a minute and 40-50 seconds, so plenty of time. Take it out, and now we're going to go to step 2 or C2, and that's basically just to add your reagent in, which we already had pre-filled, so that saves a little bit of time. And just be careful that you don't spill anything, and once again wipe off the cuvette, and we're going to put it back in here with 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Not that we're really racing, but it's a good way to run one test, and while that's running, be able to just run another test. And that's it. My alkalinity is 7.1. The thumbs up is not, because that's good. It's not horrible, but it's not great. I usually try to run my tank around 8.5 to 9, so I definitely need to buffer that up. It could be because I just did a water change. So you had 1 minute and 20 seconds left after running your alkalinity test roughly. So this is a good time. I mean, you can clean up your mess and get all this, crap out of the way. Put some of your stuff back. You can put some of the reagents back in the packages. You can clean out your crevettes if you want to from the alkalinity. Normally I just clean them all at once. And at the end of this, bam, you got your phosphorus reading, which mine is 11, which is pretty good. That's, just where we want to be. And yeah, so 11 is good. That's like what, 0.04 to 0.05 for phosphates. So yeah, we're gonna click these off, and that's it, man. That's the end of the test. That's the end of this video, and we're just gonna basically box up all of our goodies, put it back, and we'll do a test, in another few days. So thanks for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and happy reefing. Cheers.